Time to create a new query. In this query, what I want to do is I want to be able to create a quantity amount of what the companies produce, and I want to multiply the quantity by the prices. But then I also have to take into account that there's a discount on some of those, and I have to calculate what the discount is. So I'm going to assume that the discount is 10%, is what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to click on the Create tab. I'm going to go to the Query Design. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to import the company, the invoice, and the product tables. And then I'm going to hit Close. Now, all I want really from this is the company ID, the product ID, the quantity from the invoice table, and the price. Perhaps also the unit, how much the units are, and let's just go ahead and add in color, material, size, weight in pounds, and discount offered fields. Okay, now what I'm going to do is create a calculated field. What is a calculated field? A calculated field is a field that does mathematical operations on other fields, and from those mathematical operations generates new values. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. On the empty field, right click and go to the build selection, which we've done before. This is the build expression editor. So what I want to build here is the total price based on quantity. So I click on build. I choose from tables. I'm going to choose from the invoice table, the quantity times, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply from the product table the price. And so this is the quantity times the price, and I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to change the name from expression 1 to total cost. Okay, let's go ahead and run the query, and now it's generating the total costs here based upon quantities. All right, let's go ahead and let's look at what we've got here. I've got the product, the unit, the material, the size. I want to add in the actual quantity value. When I double click on that, that should, let's see here, let's try that again. There we go, adds it in the end. I'm actually going to bring that forward, and I'm going to put that right over here. I also want to bring in the price field. And that should appear at the end. There we go. Oh, I put in a couple quantities. I'm going to delete this one. So let me cut this one. All right, I'm going to put the price before the quantity field. Okay, there we go. All right, let's run it to see what we've got. Good. So now I have my price per unit, quantity. So I need to rename this price per unit. Well, how do you rename a field? Well, it's not that bad. What we're going to do is we're going to base this on just the price. So let's go ahead and let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of this. Let's right click, let's go to build, and all I'm going to do now is from the invoice table, from the product table, I'm going to choose price, and that's it. Okay, hit OK. Now what I do is I change this from expression 1 to price per unit, and now it's named differently. It's still exactly the same as the price, but now it's the price per unit. So there we go. I have 5 of those. 5 times 1,394 is the total cost. Now I have to take into account the discount. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to click on this one and this one, and I'm going to say yes, there's a discount offered. And the total cost isn't really true yet, because if there is a discount, I'm going to consider it a 10% discount. So I have to be able to subtract off 10% of the total cost. Okay? Well, how are we going to do that? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Design View, and I'm going to go into the total cost field. There we go. Okay, I click into here. Now, let's say you have 10% of $100. So, for example, let me open up my calculator real quick. What's 10% of $100? Well, it's $10, right? So I want to subtract $10 from 100, that would give me $90. So the idea is, if I want to take 10% and get a discount of 10%, that is the exact same thing as taking 90% of the original cost. So if the original cost is $100, if I multiply that by 0.9, I get my $90, which is the total cost after the discount. Again, what if I purchase something that's $1,300? Well, the 10% would be $130. So I would want to subtract off $130. But this is the exact same thing as multiplying by 0.90, which is 90%. Hit equals. And 1170 is the same thing as the 1,300 minus the $130. So getting a 10% discount is exactly the same thing as multiplying the total cost by 0.9. But the thing is this, I only want to do this if a discount is being offered. So I need a conditional. All right, let me close the calculator. And now let's go back. I'm just going to delete all this and we're going to start again. So now I'm going to start again. So let's right click, choose build. I want to go to functions, built-in functions, and the kind of function I want is called from the program flow category. It's the if statement. Ooh, if that happens, if that appears, you don't want that yet. Double click on if. Okay, so what are we going to choose? Well, if a discount is offered, that's what we want to talk about first. If a discount is offered. Let's go to tables. Let's go to product and let's just double click on discount offered. So if a discount offered equals yes, we do not need double quotes, okay? We do not need double quotes. Click on the true part. Well, if the discount is offered, then the total cost, I'm going to take 90% of the total cost. What is the total cost? The total cost, again, is the quantity times the price. So I do 0.9, which is 90%, times the price times the quantity, which is in the invoice table. Okay, now let's go to the false part. If this is false, if a discount is not offered, meaning discount offered equals no, then it's just the total cost. So total cost is price times quantity. Let's hit OK. All right, let's change it now from being expression 1 to total cost. Let's run the query. And now I have total cost. Notice that it is not in currency format. So we want to go to the property sheet in design view. Go to view. For this field here, let's go to the property sheet, which is already open. Under format, let's choose currency. Decimal places, let's choose 2 decimal places. And there we go. So, all right, let's run it. And there we go. It's now in a currency format. What if I offer a discount here? Check it out. It calculates a 10% discount for that amount right there. That is awesome. 10% discount is now calculated by selecting these buttons because the if formula is operating behind the scenes. So now we've got a nice little query. We haven't saved it yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this as QRY total costs and then whatever your last name is. Hit OK. So we've got a nice little handy dandy query here now that calculates based upon discount. And we're going to use this in the future.